What up? It's Ibn Webb, Quran the Sub, Quran Webb, Ibn the Sum, however you want, flipping to bounce it. But we're going to go with Ib today. Another session, another go around with this official thanks. Actually, it's been a blast just doing it, family, sports folks that I've grown up, watching or what have you there. And I know today I'm actually going to do Essex County all day edition, another edition here, and really just honored to have this guest coming on. Newark legend in the Newark Hall of Fame, played in the pros, spent some time in the pros, college pros. Great father, grandfather, so I'm looking forward to just talking with him. So as soon as he gets on, we just gonna get to it and just, like I said, just get some jewels, just listen to the OGs talk and just sit back. That's what you do when OGs talk. You just sit back and just chill, and you just take in all the information and all the jewels and then all the stories and all that, because that's what it is, man. You just play your part and just chill. So I'm looking forward to having this legend jump on here and just talk for a sec. That's what it is. Be right back. There we go. We good.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir? I'm Ibn Webb. It's an honor to sit here and just meet with you here. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, man. I was waiting for that call. So
yeah, because I was waiting too, and I was like, and then I said, because I've been here the whole time, and I was just like, you know what? Let me call just in case. So
Hey, hold on for a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Alexa, pause. You talking in my ear, man.
You talking about technology inclined? You got Alexa back there. She doing her thing for
somebody
you.
Had to hook me up, though.
Nah. Thank you, Mr. Cumberlander, again for jumping on here.
Yeah.
And I know Lonnie probably shared with you, but obviously just hearing from me, and I know we talked a little bit yesterday, but this is just something it's called official thanks. Well, initially what I wanted to do and what I have been doing is just been for my immediate family, just showing the world and just showing them my admiration for them, just talking to them online like we're doing now. So
right.
Trust me, I done seen my mother and father kind of mess with this technology too. So so even with that though, I was like, you know what? I'm a big sports junkie and always have been, and my love for New Jersey has never wavered and has never gone away, even though I'm no longer out there. But I think, and in particularly just being in Essex County, I was just like a sports junkie, just knowing who did what, who did this, whether it was the older generation, no matter what the sport was. That was just kind of my thing here. And then obviously, Lonnie and I, relationship was on the field, whether it was football. I know he tried his hands at basketball a little bit, but his blood and heart was football there. And and obviously that bloodline comes from you here. And I think it was just one of those things here, so I just wanted to just talk to those, just whoever I get my hands on, just have a conversation, get a big dose of nostalgia, just kind of and not forget, who we were, who you are, who you continue to be, and, the things that you have done here. Like I said, I'm pretty floored to just have you, like I said, right now. Just take time out of your day just to talk to me here. So, it'd be more of a conversation. I'll probably ask some questions, and we'll have some fun at the end with putting you on the spot with some things here. But like I said, just being from Newark, just how was it growing up in Newark?
Well, when I was coming up, man, I had a great time, man, because most of the time I hung around with my older brothers and older guys.
Okay.
They basically brought me up, man, so all my little athletic skills came from them, and we had neighborhoods then,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's real tight knit, and everybody knew everybody, so, and my parents were great, and because they stayed on me about, trying to, keep me straight,
Yeah.
So, but everything was good, though.
Now,
my father taught me how to catch my first ball.
Okay.
Took me to the park, 3 years old, never forget it. And he yelled at me a couple of times because I was afraid of the ball. So then I started catching it and stuff. Ever since then, man, it was on for me, just started doing my thing. Basketball, but baseball was my love, though,
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So, but I don't know. It was good, man, coming up back then, So, but nowadays, kids got a little rougher, man, So.
Yeah. Now, where'd you grow up in Newark? Where'd you grow up at?
Where?
In Newark. Where in Newark?
On North Fifth Street, right
Okay.
across the street from St. Benedict's Field. It's called
Right.
that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had the big field over there, so we used to hop the fence every day. Man was over there doing something,
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Plus, we played in the street a lot, touch football, and I was the youngest guy out there playing with these guys like high school and in their 20s and stuff. I was about 7, 8 years old. They used to pick me on the team. I was most of the time the last pick though, but I was a man out there at that age.
That's right.
So it was fun then, playing in the street, man. One-way street. You can imagine how narrow it was. Cars on both sides of the street, But got a lot of toughness out there, man, because they didn't care. It was knocking me down, everything, But,
Absolutely.
it was good,
Now that tackle on the cement, making sure we ain't gonna mess up too many cars.
Right. Then as I was coming up, I like played basketball with always played basketball with older guys and stuff, And but when I played with guys my age, it was easy. They it was like real easy for me. So even playing football, when I was in high school, everything just came easy, man. I was just having fun out there, But it was good though,
Nah, good stuff. Now, in regards to, it sounded like you kind of answered this question here, but as far as getting started in sports, was it that 7, 8 years old? I mean, just around the way, or you just did you start playing any leagues back? Were any leagues back then? Anything?
Well, I started playing in the league as I was 7 years old. It's called St. Francis Baseball League, little peewees,
Okay.
So I started there. Then I played all the way up to the Pony League. I was the only black in the whole league, So, but it was cool that none of my friends wanted to come and play with me, because they said I don't want to play with the white boys like that. But it was cool. I met a lot of good friends, and a lot of the guys still friends with them. So, but everything was good though.
Nah, interesting. You mentioned that. So even being like the only black on the team here, as long as you could play, I'm sure it was just they were good.
Man, I was a man out there, man.
Yeah.
They playing shortstop, center field, pitching, they had me doing everything. But I should have stayed with baseball though, man. Because I was that good.
Oh, how's that bat of yours?
Huh?
How's that bat of yours?
Oh man. Hey man, listen, all line drives, bro. All line drives. And and running the bases, that was the thing. But fielding was my thing too, though, So, but I had a lot of fun coming up, man. I tried to keep my son busy doing the same things that I did coming up, So, and see what things he liked and didn't like. But he basically did everything. He didn't like baseball. He said that it was boring, you know, and because he was playing the outfield. So then we moved him to catcher. He started catching, and he started loving baseball. So everything was good.
Nah, good stuff. Then you get off to high school here. This is where a lot of things probably take off for you. So over at Behringer, but before Behringer, you went to Wellsburg your freshman year, correct?
I went to Wellsburg. I stayed there for before our first game came up. I left because I don't know. I was a freshman, and my best friend he got suspended. Right, he was the one taught me to go to school, and he was a senior. He was older than me, so I'm following him. And so when he got suspended, man, it was kind of lonely over at Wellsburg, because I was traveling far to take 2 buses to get to school. And then they had me carrying all these books. Then I had to wear a tie to school, And I wasn't about that, man. But the football was good because the guy named Coach Allen was a coach there, and I would have been playing. But I decided to leave, man. It was closer to home, walking distance, Behringer, and got there. It was all good. They had split sessions there at the time, And I started school at 12. I got out at 5:30. It was dark like that coming home.
Nah, I never even heard of that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they had this. Yeah, because they had another school called Webster, and they closed it. So all the freshmen came to school at Barringer. So that's why they had to split the sessions up. There was too many kids. You know, some of the kids, they started like at, I think it was 7:45 was first class. And my class was the last one. And I remember what class was my history class. Come out of there at 5:30, 5:15. You know, it got dark early then, man. So
Yeah.
I had to walk through the park to get home. Bransfield Park, it was dark like that. A lot of times I ran through the park, man, you know.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it was fun, though. You know, you think back on it. So
Nah, good stuff. Now, did you play varsity right away in all sports, or?
well, when I went to Barringer, no, they already had the team already picked out and stuff like that. So I was going to play JV. And the funny thing is, I went to the locker room to pick up my equipment and stuff. And, you know, they was handing out, you know, the shoes, shoulder pads. And I looked at the shoes and stuff. I said, I'm not wearing that, you know. So I said, I'll just wait until next year, man. So I started playing my sophomore year. And it was good, though. When I got out there, Coach Fiducci, I met him. I was like in the 6th grade. He was our playground instructor, a teacher, right? And he seen me play basketball. He said, yeah, you come to Barringer and play for me, you know, like that. So I really didn't know him. That's how I got to know him at first, you know. And he finally got there. But, you know, it was hard at first, man, playing because I couldn't remember the plays.
Okay.
And this one guy, he used to tell me, yeah, you run this way or you go that way. It was a wrong play, making me look bad for the coach, you know. So he sat me on the side. So I finally got my shot in the first game. As soon as I touched the ball, I scored. Was playing a team called West Mars. And after that, man, I was playing every day, man.
Yeah. So you just played in the backfield, or did you play defense as well, or?
Yeah, I was a free safety on defense because we ran a 53.
Okay.
And we were just well coached. And I played, you know, offense, left halfback. We ran a wishbone. And hey, man, look, we just had a great team, man. So all these cats, man, mostly my senior class. Just think about this. My senior class, we had 18 guys was getting scholarships, Division I schools.
That's all right.
18 of us, yeah. And I had like 125 scholarship offers from Division I. And so, you know, it was all write-up and stuff, paper and stuff. I kept all the clippings. Now I don't have them. I don't know what happened to all my stuff, man, you know. And, but hey, back then though, man, you know, football was serious. School stadium was packed. Every game we played. I mean, all the way around the horseshoe was packed. And so you had to perform, you know? So,
absolutely.
All our guys were good, man. Robbie Wright, Joe DiVincenzo, he was our quarterback. And Pete Shaw was the other halfback. And the guys on the lines, man, you can say they was like killers out there, man. You know.
Yeah, because I was about to say you better shout out that line. I was just about to say that. You about to shout that line out. Absolutely.
That line, man. Hey, look, the line, man. They used to come back, and when they used to say, "Well, on my side," you know. When you got guys talking like that, you know, and all, hey, you be ready to go, you know. But most of the time, well, especially we got behind. Forget it, you know. Because they didn't want to lose, put it that way. And they used to always say, man, we got to win this one for coach, you know, because you don't want to lose no games, you know, with Coach V, man. He's a great coach, great guy. He was like a father to us, you know?
Yeah. Now, how about those, so those games back then, was it just like the City League, pretty much back then?
We had the City League. We had the City League, and I think we played like 3 teams outside of a league, but it was hard for our team to get scheduled for teams. You know, like Seton Hall, we wanted to play Seton Hall. They didn't want us on their schedule, but they scrimmaged us.
They didn't want that smoke.
That was Coach Fiducci's brother, Tony Fiducci. You know, Seton Hall was always good, but man, we got up there, man. We used to like kill Seton Hall, and he used to pull us out the game. And after scrimmage, he said, "No, I can't embarrass my brother like this," you know. And because Tony, his brother, he looked just like Vince Lombardi. Guy never smiled, nothing. Boy, when he started yelling at his players, I said, man, I'm glad I don't play for him, you know. But Coach V was he was just a smart coach, great coach, taught me a lot, because I used to listen to him about every position that he coached. I was just picking up things from him, man, what he was saying about, about different positions and stuff. But one thing he said to me, not to me, but to the team, he said that I don't coach everybody the same. We coach them as individuals. And then I started thinking about that every day and looking at the guys. And I seen what he was talking about because, man, we had a lot of crazy dudes on the team. Some guys he could talk to and some he couldn't say certain things to,
Right.
But those days was like, hey, most of the cats, we had good guys though, man. But they all should have went to college. But a lot of guys, man, they had to like quit school, drop out, and go work for their families, And so that, a lot of the guys have had hard times. But hey, come Saturdays, you're ready to go though,
No, absolutely. Now, who did you enjoy playing against the most? What school? I'm sure you got up for everybody.
But look, I'm just gonna say this, right? These guys are so used to playing the city. Every game was like a rivalry game. I mean, cats, man, used to like, especially if if you were good, like our team, everybody was after us. Dexter, Robbie, and Pete, because we was like kind of good, right? And but I used to love playing teams outside the city, and they, the white schools, because they used to always get all the stayed in the newspaper more for one thing, and then the rankings, the state rankings, they were all like 1, 2, 3 like that, And Barons in the city league, they thought our league was nothing. But hey man, every time we played those guys like Atlantic City at the time, they were ranked number 2 in the state. West Morris was number 4 in the state. We was playing teams like that. And boy, I tell you what, we used to like really spank them good, Coach used to say to us, he said, especially when we down Atlantic City, they were number 2, right? Told us, because we spent the night up there. First time us, spending a night somewhere, it was a big thing for us. Being high school kids. He told us, came in that night, yeah, they talking about you and stuff like this, about what they're gonna do to you. Another city league team, coming out here. Because they used to play Central every year. Central football program was kind of lousy back then, But man, he told the cats that. And that next day, he said, I don't care. You hit anything moving until you hear the whistle. Man, I would have had about 500 yards rushing if those guys wasn't hitting people. I done scored a touchdown. They still hit, and calling my plays back. I didn't even want to look back anymore, because I knew they threw a flag, But yeah, it was good though, man. It was a lot of fun though, playing with those guys. And and we all would have stayed together and went to a college, especially like place like Rutgers or somewhere like that. Man, we would have been really good,
Now, with the rankings, you mentioned the rankings back there. Like, what's the highest y'all finished while you was there?
Well, that year we beat Atlantic City. We finished number 3. I think it was number 3 or number 4 in the state. Okay. Yeah, and that we should. Hey, man, listen, they didn't have playoffs back then. Right. Because I think Westfield, Red Bank, East Lawns used to be ranked a lot. Because East Lawns they were like really good. Because they used to play teams like Red Bank, Brick Township, a whole bunch of teams like that. Westfield, but they all those guys, man, most of those guys, they went to big schools, and but they were good.
And I was going to ask you about that, about East Orange. That was your Thanksgiving game, wasn't it? Correct?
Yeah, East Orange beat us. They beat us one time my sophomore year, and they beat us by a point or 2 points or something like that, And that day I fumbled on a punt return, right? On the punt return, I got hit about 3 times. I spit it off the hits, and who made me fumble was a kicker. And he came and put his head right on the ball. It's like he fell right into it. Right on the ball, the ball just popped right out, because I was gone after that, Yeah. And I think they went down and scored too. And they beat us by a couple of points. But after that, they couldn't touch us, man. My junior, senior year, we beat them pretty good.
Yeah, I can only imagine those games though, like between School Stadium and Martin Stadium, how packed it probably had people out in the streets.
That was crazy, man. You go there, especially going to East Orange, they what was their colors? I think it was red. Was their colors red and white or something like that?
Red, blue, and white.
Yeah, you look over the stands, man. That's all you see up in the stands. And it was just nice playing East Orange. I used to look forward to it because I lived in East Orange.
Okay.
And they I don't think I was liked very well up there because I didn't hang out up there at all, That's, I didn't get to know anybody. So, because we moved there, I was in high school, Barnes already, when we moved up to East Orange. But both of my brothers, they went to East Orange. And my brother Sylvester, my youngest brother, played for East Orange, man. And he was, they had a good team. He was good. He was tough for a linebacker. And he used to come get him. Yeah. So my brother Dexter ran track there. And he took county and started running the hurdles also. Our family was pretty good athletes, man, So my older brothers, man, my older brothers stayed on me. That's why, And
because they saw something in you, and they wanted to make sure you follow through on that. Use their investment. Use their investment too. They want to make sure. Absolutely.
The main thing was my father. He told me, he said, "Boy, if I ever see you not giving 100%, you're not gonna play." And I was playing baseball then because he pulled me in, who came off the field. He came over and said that to me. I guess because it was hot that day, this one particular day, and I was in the pony league playing for St. Francis. And I just didn't look like I was interested, I guess, When he said that to me, and I didn't know he was really watching me like that, And man, after that, I had a great game that day after he said that to me, So, but now, he was at every game. Every one of my games,
That's
stand down. I'd be looking for him. I couldn't find him. But my mother, I spotted her anywhere in the stands. You can hear her mouth. Well, it was crazy, So
now, did you at Barringer, besides you played? So it sounded like, did you play baseball too, or basketball at Barringer too? Or
well, I played JV basketball my sophomore year, and Coach Fiducia, he really. He was a big influence for me, and I played baseball. So the baseball coach, he didn't like Coach V. Coach V was an athletic director, and the baseball coach was a gym teacher. And so he didn't start me in baseball, but I played. And I was kind of like upset about that. So I just quit and just ran. Coach wanted me to run track. He said, "Don't play for that guy, go ahead and run track." So I ran track, getting ready for college and stuff. But track was good. Got me, get you a little running together and stuff like that. Your skills up.
Absolutely. Now from Barringer and all the fun and records and wins and everything else, we go off to college. How was the college life for you?
I went to Wake Forest for a semester. Well, that's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Right.
I left because the coach that recruited me was this guy named Coach Stahl. He left after I signed my papers and stuff. He left Wake Forest and went to got the job at Maryland, University of Maryland. And I got there was another coach there, this guy named Coach Parker. Never forget him. He was from Mississippi. So all our coaches were like Southern coaches. Right. Mississippi, Alabama, some real, Southern people, man, And Wake Forest is like kind of a religious school. You had to take religion. And it was like, it was a few blacks. It wasn't many blacks there. All the blacks there were athletes. We had like 8 black students that was just students. They were on like special scholarships and stuff, right?
Okay.
I just had to get out of the South, man. I couldn't, I wasn't with it. We had two of my professors, they were like admitted to me that they were a member of the Klans. Just like that,
Wow.
And I said, I told my man Robbie Wright went to school with me there too. I said, Rob, man, we got to get out of here, man. So coaches knew I wasn't happy there, and so this guy named was Dean Dyer. So he said that he cleaned my transcript and everything, so I start over. I don't know how these other schools found out that I was leaving, but I started getting calls, and so I wound up in Wyoming.
Okay.
And, it was that's another thing, boy. Being out there, that's some real cowboy stuff out there, man.
Yeah.
So being young, man, a lot of things took a while to get used to, But playing ball in college, it was good. It was fun. We had like 2 different coaches. When I first got there, it was Coach Sherman. Then we got Coach Fred Akers. He came from University of Texas and stuff. So we won our conference when he was there, and played in the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. So, but I had a pretty decent career there. I played a lot of different positions. Anytime anybody got hurt, they filled me in there like a corner safety, strong safety, running back. So last 2 the year that we won the conference, the last 2 games, I played quarterback against Brigham Young and against Air Force. And 3 games and New Mexico. So we won all 3 games, but they wasn't ready for a black quarterback out there. So we ran a wishbone. Like I said, man, when Coach V taught us a lot, and that's why I was able to play so many different positions. But I knew more than coaches. And my coach, the backfield coach, and all they didn't like that because I was like correcting them about certain things, and the head coach came over and started scolding them. But I should have kept my mouth shut, and I didn't, So, but it was all good though, It was a hell of an experience, man. I've seen a lot of this country.
Being out there now, there was that the WAC conference still out back then?
Yep. It's called WAC. Called Western Athletic
Conference. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We played teams like Arizona State was in our conference, Colorado State, New Mexico, Utah State, teams like that. Now, boy, I tell you what, though, Arizona State, Brigham Young, man, especially Arizona State, they used to win the conference just about every year when I was here. And boy, they had some players, man. All those guys on that team, who's that quarterback, Danny White, played for Dallas.
Right.
Kenny Lofton, man, I can't remember all those guys, but boy, did they have some players, man. But,
it sounded like you held your own though, so I mean.
Oh yeah, it went out there. But my thing was, man, it's been, I shouldn't have went so far away from home.
Okay.
I think I should have went to Rutgers or somewhere like that, even University of Maryland, somewhere else, Pittsburgh. These are all schools I visited, but I just listened to other people, decide to go, these places, man. But I'm glad I did. It was a heck of an experience, and I learned a lot. And Coach V, I used to talk to him all the time, and this guy, man, was like, I talk to him now, at least once a week,
Okay.
He's up in his 80s now and stuff though, but still talk the same way about stuff, man, and I swear, my son even calls him, and my grandson, and talks to him, boy, and everybody loves him because he's straight up with you and tell you what's what, And a lot of things you say, a lot of people don't know how to take it, But we did that as kids with him, man. Like I said, he knew what to say to certain people and what not to say to other guys, But he's been like a father to me, man. And he'd do anything for anybody if he can help, as long as you straight with him,
No, good stuff. I do have to ask this about the Wyoming thing. Like, now, did you have to drive out there?
Did I drive out there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well,
how far is that drive?
Well, when I first started going out there, we fly out there. It cost like $300 and something to fly one way. And you couldn't fly to Wyoming, you had to go to Denver. Right? You fly into Denver, then you take one of the propeller planes from Denver to Laramie. Because they had a real small airport, And man, I swear to God, that airplane was so scary. I mean, like I said, man, I'm not riding on that plane no more. So my father bought me a car. And I drove out there, man. It took like 37 hours. And,
okay.
Yeah, that was like nonstop. Only time you stop is gas up and keep it going, right on 80. As soon as you pull off Route 80, school's right there in Laramie, And which was a blessing, man. The first time I drove out there, I was scared to death.
Oh, I'm sure.
Man, and the thing about it, I was afraid to get lost. All you seen was mountains coming through Pennsylvania, and then open fields, especially you got to Nebraska, you don't see nothing but cows, man, And I was so glad to see that sign said Laramie. Oh boy. But it was good, man.
Yeah. Now we do the college thing, and then now you have pro aspirations. How did that go?
Oh yeah, I came out of school. See, I didn't get drafted or nothing because I was kept moving around different positions and stuff. But the schools they gave me, I mean not the schools, but San Francisco invited me to camp. So I went there and stayed there. Then I messed my Achilles tendon up. And after the first preseason game that week, I messed my Achilles tendon up. And then the next year, I went to Detroit. And so that was like invitation camp. They invite you there to see if they're going to invite you back to camp. So they said, Miller invited me back to camp. A friend of mine said, Dexter, I was playing baseball in this league before I even went for the invitation. And he told me, and we was in the playoffs. He told me, Dexter, don't play in that game. Man, you're getting ready to go away. So I said, man, it's the last game. I can't let the guys down. So I wind up playing. Diving back in the first base, separated my shoulder, popped out, man, so high. I looked at it. So I had the guy who was coaching first base to pull it back in. And my arm was shot ever since then. I couldn't throw no more.
Yeah.
So I should have went to the hospital, let them set it. But, I'm trying to be tough and stuff, man, but it never healed right. So that happened with that. That was it. That was the last time I even thought about trying out. And plus my wife, I was married at the time. She didn't want me to go back trying out again. And so I didn't, because I was going to go try out with the Giants.
Okay.
And, yeah, but she kept on me so bad, man. I said, forget it. So I went and got a job, started working.
Now, even with the work, you still stayed involved with sports, though, somehow.
Coaching
and all that stuff. Right.
I started coaching. My son said he started playing at 9 years old. He started playing football at 8.
Okay.
Right? With this team called, I think it was called the Raiders. And, this other guy was coaching him. And I seen that he didn't know what he was doing. And me and this guy named Barry Gray. And he played football at Barringer too. He was a running back. He was really good. And Barry had his son, Malik. They, you know Malik, right?
Yeah, I know Malik.
Yeah. So they both was on the team. So me and Barry heard about Newark, Pop Warner. He said, Dex, we can get the kids down in Newark, man, because they asked me, I want to coach. I said, yeah, that'd be good. So we went down and played Newark Pop Warner League, man, which was really good for the kids, So I started coaching and Barry started coaching. I became the head coach down there. And we didn't win. I think we tied our first one game and we lost all our games, right? The first year, had the kids running a wishbone. Malik was a quarterback. Hey, man, listen, the next year, nobody could touch this. Nobody, because we had all these older kids, man, guys trying to play, they were 13, trying to play with 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds, And I told them, I got rid of those guys, man, started playing the 8 and 9-year-olds. Next year, nobody touched this, man. Malik running their waist ball. Now, this is a little kid now. This is a little kid, 9, 10 years old, calling audibles at the line of scrimmage. I told him, all you got to do is count left to right. Whoever has the lesser plays, that's where you want to run the bone at,
That's right.
Yeah. North, then I moved down. You see, my son, he went away to high school. Yeah. Then I followed him. I didn't coach after that. Well, I coached at Essex Catholic. Catholic.
And I know Lonnie said that's probably one of his best teams he's been all this. Like you guys,
oh my God, man!
Y'all ran through everybody.
Man, I had some kids on that team, man. I mean, kids didn't even know too much about football. We had this one kid we call a little Spanish kid, right? He was skinny and stuff, right? But he was a good kid, always talking. We used to call him Crazy Man. Crazy Man didn't know nothing about football. But after a while, but before our first game, this kid, man, was tough like that. But one thing about him, what I used to do was go half line. I put the best plays on defense and we go half line, the best plays on offense and run our plays at that best defense, to get everything down. Everybody is real competitive, And Crazy Man, Lonnie used to have to block Crazy Man, play after play, right? Crazy Man, and Lonnie used to bury him. And man, Crazy Man, he just kept coming. He said, man, that's why he got his name Crazy Man, But Yeah, man, that was good. We had some good plays on that team. Good kids, man. Yeah.
Now was that when you had the punchline in his stomach?
Look, man, I didn't punch him in the stomach. I hit, the pads up here on your chest. So I hit him with a backhand in his chest, right up here. So thereafter I hit him, I snatched him down in the huddle. And I said, you better get these guys together. I think we were playing Verona. And we were playing, Verona. So what happened was, after I did that, anyway, we won the game, right? Kids seeing that, they started hitting and playing and tackling, right? So Monday, came to school, got from somebody from Diapers there with 2 sheriffs.
Oh, for real? Oh.
Yeah. The lady had called, this lady had reported me to Diapers and they called the police to come to the school with them, right? A sheriff from the sheriff department. And I think that guy was named the headmaster, Brother Leo or something. I think it was Brother Leo. They called me in the office, right? Before practice. So I went in there. They told me about, we was report that you hit your son and all this. Hey, man, I went in there. I went off. I just lost it because I raised my kids to try to raise them the right way. You don't lie and you don't steal. And a lot of these kids no discipline at all at home. And this white woman, gonna report me. And I told you better take care of our own kids instead of worrying about I told Brother Leo that. Hey man, listen, I went off in there, man. They just looked at me and stuff. And I was walked out. I used a little profanity and stuff, and I didn't mean to do it. I apologized to Brother Leo after. Right. I was just kind of upset about that, man, So I just tried to raise my son like my father and mother raised me,
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Now, playing sports, like, what is sports giving you that stuck with you to this day?
Oh, man. Look, man, I done played everything. Basketball, baseball, but football, man, it's a walk of life, man. And you just think about it. Football gives you discipline, first of all. It teaches you leadership, and, those are 2 great qualities right there. Yeah, I mean, like, when you're doing something, going for a job, it teaches you how to look another person in the eye, because you got a lot of people that look away, look down, hands in their pockets and stuff like that. But you build a lot of character, man, from playing ball, man, because you got to have that. And if you notice, when you're on that football field, and even before the game, just think about it now. You standing there waiting to take the field. And that pride you feel, you're standing straight up, got that chest sticking out, man. It's just a walk of life. And like you said, I think Lonnie told you too. It's like you got to relate that your teachings to everything about about life. And I tell you, even today I miss it because. And the crazy thing is this: I miss the smell of the locker room, the smell of the training room. And especially getting dressed before a big game, man. You're getting all spattered up, taping up and stuff, make sure your pants is real tight, taking some pants out, Hey, man, it's all good, man,
Absolutely. I mean,
can't wait to get that first hit in. So.
Well, I know the city of North didn't forget about you, and then, enshrining you to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I just tell you, man, it's like 3 things or 2 or 3 things you always remember, especially about playing football, that you would never forget. And I just want to say this real quick. My sophomore year, we played a team with Southside, which is Shabazz now.
Shabazz, right.
Right. They had players, man, they were big. I mean, they had some guys, like most of their guys straight across the line was about 6'5", 6'6", 6'4", and big, right? And they had this guy, Great Ladder, that Great Ladder guy, Reese Campbell. But this one dude named Willie Paul, big dude. And I'll never forget, we won that game 12-10, never forget it, right? And Willie, I ran a trap, my play. I'm running through there off the right tackle. The hole was there, man. All I see was a goal line, right? And I hit that hole. Willie Paul grabbed me by my ankle with one hand. right? He was on the ground, grabbed me by my ankle and snatched me down. And I turned around and looked. He was holding me with one hand on my ankle. I swear to God, man, I hit that ground so hard. And I will never forget, I felt helpless when that man grabbed me. Look, I'll never forget that, man. And I said to myself then, man, I'm not going to get grabbed like that no more. Because when I came to the hole and I kept my feet moving, high stepping, so, and Coach got on me about that. He said, you never let one man bring you down. And so that's, a couple of things that I would remember like crazy, man.
Yeah. Now, speaking of, I wanted to ask, how'd you do against weak weight teams? Only reason I say that, my father's a weak weight alum. That's why.
Oh, man. What year did your father come out?
Yeah, he ain't playing sports, but he came out at 69.
69. All right, he came out a little before me. But check this out. Man, we used to be weak weight so bad, it's crazy, man. Hey, your father know. Oh, what happened?
Yeah. You just gotta hit the button again. You might have just touched the screen. That's all.
Hit what button?
Tap the screen like you did when we first got on, and you'll see that little camera with the line probably. We back. Yeah, I just saw you.
Can you see me now?
You want to just hit that button again? That you just hit. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, you're just about to get into how y'all used to just blow weak way out.
Yeah, hey man, listen. We like Robbie Wright. He had his biggest game against Weekway. 5 touchdowns. We used to beat them so bad. Yeah. They had this guy named Victor Brown, right? Vic went to Oklahoma, right? Defensive end. And I hadn't seen Vic since high school. We played in the Fiesta Bowl. Man, who comes up at one of the banquets we have? Because we had a banquet with both teams. And Vic came and grabbed me from the back. I didn't know who it was, man. They called him Mad Dog. But, he was a good player and stuff, though. But, man, Weekway used to talk so much trash. Yeah. Man, it was crazy, man. It's like me being from the North Ward and playing for Barrington. Man, listen, when you went over that way, like plays to Baz a week, you had to keep looking around your shoulder because if they found you from Barrington going over to mess with the chicks over there, you had a problem.
They come with the territory. Yeah, they come with the territory.
Yeah, man, they were serious about that too, But I got a lot of friends from over there though. Everything was cool though,
Now you played them sometimes at Utterman Field. It was between Utterman and School Stadium.
Yeah, that's what we played. Utterman Field was horrible, man. Yeah. The School Stadium was horrible too because you had the baseball, the infield, hard like that. So. And like Branchville Park, where we practiced at, we wore the grass out, and that ground used to get real hard. This one day, let me just tell you this story real quick. One day of practice, we had that Saturday off. We didn't have no game. So Coach said, another thing too, we used to, what got us ready? We used to go down to St. Benedict's and scrimmage them every Wednesday. We had to walk from Barnes down to Benedict's Field and scrimmage them every Wednesday. And that's what made a lot of our plays even better. But man, we did not want to go down there and play them cats, because this is all white school, all white boys, And man, they came to play. It was like a game, and they were serious, man. You gotta have your game on. We knew we was gonna get into down there, but man, we used to wear them out too, though, And but man, it's like coach yelling at you all scrimmage, man. He didn't yell at us, the backs and stuff, but the linemen and stuff, man. I didn't mind. You guys are ready to go though, man,
That's right.
But but it was like our guys, man, that we played with, it was like I don't know, man. I just miss those guys. A lot of them are gone, man, and died young. And it was a hurting thing, man, because I just think about that team, a lot of guys a lot, So
absolutely. That camaraderie is forever. That's forever.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, it was good. But a lot of the kids from Pop Warner that I coached on Pop Warner, a lot of those kids are gone, And then I might run into a couple of them, like if I'm in Newark and they still call me coach. Hey, coach, come and hug me and stuff like that, But our answers, We had good kids, though, man.
Absolutely. I heard from a coach before mention you engrave your name in the hearts of kids, you'll live forever. And I think that's you're the epitome of that. You're the epitome of that. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna have some fun with you here. I'll put you on the spot here on some with some questions here. So I know you're out in Cleveland. I don't know how I'll retire, but
I'm not in Cleveland. Cleveland is just like North. I'm in Cleveland Heights.
Cleveland Heights, excuse me. Yeah, man, let me make sure we throw that Heights in there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Man, look,
absolutely.
Don't leave that Heights out. Hey, look, Cleveland, well, I don't know, man. Newark, though, was getting better when I left. I think it was, anyway. You know, man. But Cleveland, man, it's like the city is clean. You know, the streets and stuff. But there's a lot of stuff going on, man. You don't see too many people walking around in Cleveland, man, you know. But all the times, man, on the news, you know, bodies here, body there, man. Mass, 4 bodies found over here, all this crazy stuff, man, you know. So, but it's just good out here, though, man. I like it, you know, but I miss Newark, you know, and, you know, I'm just glad to see that a lot of these coaches have been coaching Pop Warner and Newark for a long time. And they just hanging in there taking care of them kids like that, man, you know. So, which is a really good thing. I remember my man Don, this guy Don, he was coaching the North Ward. He coached him for a long time. You know, he was one of the good brothers, man. And I kind of miss that. So
yeah. Well, let me see if I can get you down north a little bit here with a couple of questions, memory lane a little bit. When you was in your car, Parkway or the Turnpike?
When what?
When you was in your car, when you driving, when you back here in Jersey, Parkway or the Turnpike?
Coming back to Jersey?
No, what you prefer? Parkway?
Parkway, man.
All right. Yeah. Branchburg Park or Weequay Park?
Branchburg.
South Orange Ave or Springfield Ave?
Oh, shit. Springfield Ave.
Here we go. Bragman's or Cooper's?
Bragman.
Or you want me to throw Hobbies up in there on Branford Place? You want me to throw that one up in there?
Bragman.
Bragman's, okay. I don't know if you had the nightlife, but if you had the nightlife, what we doing? What was it like back then? Mr. West, Sparky J's, the Bridge Club, those ring a bell?
Well, the Key Club, it rings a bell.
Key Club. Okay.
I was a young kid hanging out, like I said, all the guys then.
Okay.
You know,
so the Key Club, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I remember hearing that. I remember hearing about that. Now,
they had the Key Club on one corner. I think the other place was called the Cadillac Club.
The Cadillac Club.
Yeah.
That
was back in the day, man. A lot of jazz was playing, you know.
Yeah. Now, father told me about the Cadillac Club as well, too. And absolutely. Now, best game you ever played at any level?
Best game.
At any level. Best game you ever played.
Well, they say, most of the people say East Side. Because I made a couple of runs, man, that, you know, that they never seen before, I guess.
Okay.
You know, so one of the runs, I couldn't believe I did it either, was against East Side, and I think we were losing that game by, 7-6, I believe it was at the time. And we played them on a Tuesday. Anyway, we were coming back. Our offensive line was coming back to the huddle saying, "Come on, Magic, let's go," telling me, "Come on, man, run on my side. I got you." And they were like Marcus Stevenson, Solomon Sands, Fred Wilson. These guys had water in their eyes, man. They was ready to hit. So I said, all right. I started raising my hand to coach, give me the ball. And he always told us, never ask for the ball during the game. I'll give you the ball, Right. But I did. And he gave me the ball. First two times I ran, I popped through the hole, man, but my feet was moving too fast for my body. And I just went down, I was felt like I was in the air running. And but that third time he gave me the ball, I told the lineman, all right, I got you this time. I said, Rob, let's get it. I said, which way you want me to set him up? That's where we used to talk in the backfield because Rob blocked a lot for me too, He said, Dex, set him up inside. So that's what I did. I set the dude up inside, and Rob fell down. He stumbled and fell before he got there. The guy was standing right in front of me. So what happened was I stepped inside and jumped outside. Here comes the cornerback. Cornerback came up. I just was gonna hurdle him. And as I got ready to hurdle, he rolls up like this. And I put my foot right in his chest, right up here. And went up in the air and spun around in the air. Came down and went on the other side, ran the other side of the field.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
Pete Shaw was like, come on. So I say, hit him. I'm pointing out to who to hit and running. And the last guy was this guy named Bruce Beeman. And Bruce Beeman went to University of Illinois, All-American. And this guy was lightning fast. I just turned around. I knew I was going to score then. I was about like 15, 20 yards away from the goal line. I remember pointing my finger at Bruce saying, yeah, come on. I was going to wait till he got there, hit him with a forearm, man. You know, because that's the way they were always talking. And Eastside was a dirty team. They played dirty. And we beat them 21-6. Yeah, that was a tough game. But, yeah, but my real best game was Atlantic City, you know. And we were playing the number 3 team in the state, number 2 team in the state. And, man, I just, I had, like I said, if they didn't call all my touchdown runs back, I would have had like 4 or 5 touchdowns, man, about over 500 yards. But I wind up with like 2-something with 3 touchdowns. But that was about the best game, you know, and the most pleasing game. Okay. And the guy, and the reason why we beat him so bad, our coach told Lou Chadwick, our defensive end, he said, you hit that quarterback, I don't care if he have the ball or not, you hit him. And they ran a wishbone. You know, he coming down the line, right. Lou was lighting this guy up. This cat was pitching the ball before he even got his reads in. You know, you're supposed to make your reads and stuff. The defense in on the tackle. He was just pitching the ball, man. Oh, man. This guy, Lou Chadwick, was one of the greatest football players that I was ever on the field with. He was that tough, man. Boy, if he was from Kingston, North Carolina. Never played football until he got to Barrington. Never played. And look, and at practice, Coach V used to say, go defensive end, say, go half speed. Lou didn't know half speed. I had to block this joker, man, right? I said, Lou, he said half speed. Lou said, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. Every practice and practice now. So I said, Rob, what's wrong with this dude? He crazy or what? Rob said, yeah, he's crazy. Man, he had just ruined my whole practice, man. I mean, I'm battling with this guy all day, you know, in practice. And Coach V, if I missed him, you know, he's going to yell at me, you know, but you know, he got my little game together. That's what we need to get your game together. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Still sharp and still.
After practice, Lou is one of the nicest dudes, man, in the world. But during the practice and games, forget about it. He was going to do his job. He went to Arizona State. And anyway, something about his grades, man, you know, even before the season started. And Coach Frank Cush was the head coach there. And he hated to see Lou go. And Lou went to a junior college called Ellsworth. And Lou went to Ellsworth, made all conference, man. You know, he was that good. And Wyoming came out to Wyoming, but he had a hernia. And he needed surgery, but he didn't get it. Wyoming never renewed his scholarship because he couldn't really practice, you know? And then he went to a school called Kentucky State, went down there and made all conference. But Lou got caught up, man, you know, doing things he shouldn't have been doing, I guess, man. But he should have been in the league, man. This guy was that good, man, because he had the right attitude and stuff. Great game, man. Best player I ever played with on the same field with.
Wow, that and coming from you, that says a whole lot. Absolutely.
Robbie Wright, man. This guy, he was another one. Block anybody. I don't care how big you was, how small you was. Coach Ducci told us one thing, right? He said to us, when you play a game and when a defensive player come and sort you out to congratulate you, you know you did your job, or you know you had a great game. That never happened until our last game we played in college against the University of Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, right? We got beat bad. We got beat 42-7. Right? Robbie scored our only touchdown. And as Robbie and I was walking off the field together, This guy, man, played All-American defensive end for Oklahoma. Where's he at? Where's he at? So we made Rob stop and turn around and look. Somebody said, there you go. Guy walked up to Roddy. He said, let me shake your hand, man. You the toughest son of a bitch, man, I ever faced it, man. You hit harder than anybody in the Big Eight, because Oklahoma's in the Big Eight with Nebraska team, right? Hey, man, look. After that, Rob shook the dude's hand. He said, thanks, man, it's up. I'm looking at Rob, and as we were walking, Rob, we said this at the same time. Coach Ducci said that was going to happen. All those words came out at the same time. We looked at each other, started laughing and slapping each other 5. Hey, man, that was a great feeling that this happened, because we started thinking about Coach V. And Robbie did play a hell of a game that game, man. But this guy, he was another great football player, but he's just small, you know. I think he only weighed like 190 pounds, man, you know, and 185. But boy, could he block and run. Yeah, he was, yeah. So, you know, I had some great guys, man. Pete Shaw, Yeah, Pete Shaw, I don't know if you heard of him. He went to the league, San Diego Chargers, then he played with the Giants. You know, he was the other running back. It was us 3, Robbie, Pete, and I, you know. But, yeah, we were good, man. We had a great time playing back then, though, you know. But, boy, we played against some great football players, man, that should have been in the league, man, for real. But these guys, they had to go work, man, because it was hard times, too, you know. So,
trying to find that balance, taking care of family and sports.
Man. And great basketball players, man. A lot of these guys, man, Newark has some of the best basketball players in the world, man. And this one guy named Grover Willard. Boy, was this cat good from Central High School. Willard was about 6'8" guard. Man, he could play. He almost beat East Orange by himself. Almost beat East Orange. East Orange had that cat, Mike Dabney. And Mike Dabney and they had 2 other great players on that team, made all states. All 3 of them made all state for me, But Willard, oh, man. Willard played for the Lakers. And he played for San Antonio. And when he got caught out there, man, you know, doing the wrong things, man. And that's how he got out the league. But he's gone now, too, man. But, boy, was he good. But Newark had great, man. Newark has some players, man.
Well,
if Newark just had 1 or 2 schools in that city, man, listen, man.
Forget about it.
Oh, my God. Yeah, a lot of talent, boy.
Yeah. Well, see if you can just, outside of your backfield here, the top 5 players from Newark ever.
The black guy by the name of Lonnie Wright.
Lonnie Wright. Okay. Now he went where?
Lonnie Wright. He went. I don't know what college he went to, but he played for
high school. High school.
I think he went to Colorado State, and he played for Denver. Lonnie Wright played football, professional football, and basketball.
Okay.
Right, and he played for the Denver Broncos, and he played for the Denver Nuggets. Right. He was that good. And,
now, what high school did Mr. Wright go to?
You see, Lonnie went to Southside.
South Shabazz, okay.
Yeah. And we say, oh boy. We say, who you say football?
Football, if you want to change it, we could change it, but I figured.
All right, the 5 best. Well, I gotta say Robbie Wright.
Okay.
Look, I mean, you know,
that's your man. That's your man. That's your man. Yeah. Absolutely.
And Lou Chadwick. And Lou Chadwick. Man, Barry Gray. Let's see. Barry Gray. Oh, Joe DiVincenzo. He was one of the best. He reminded me of Joe Namath, man. Always, every one of his passes, you never see a wobbly pass. It's all sparrows, bullets, and accuracy. So, you know, Joe was good, man.
Now, what school high school he went to?
He went to Barnes. He was my quarterback.
He did quarterback, okay.
Yeah, my sophomore year, yeah.
Okay.
He used to say, Dex, I'm going to put it out there, just go get it. I say, hey, man, that's because he threw a halfback pass. I ran a lot of halfback passes and seams up the middle and looked flat. And boy, everyone he threw me was like perfect passes, you know. I used to catch with one hand. Once the ball hit my hand, it stuck there, you know. But we had this other guy named Bobby Romano. Romano was good too. But Bobby used to throw like a wobbly pass a lot, man. You know, one-handed that, you got to have 2 hands on the ball with him. Well, he was good too, man. But, man, you know, my mind just went blank. This guy, Willie Paul from Shabazz. We had great ladder, of course. these guys that I've seen, Jeff Horsley, graduated from me, Ed Branch. This guy, Ed Branch, went to these Barons. Bruce Branch, his brother, went to Weequay. Jeff Horsley went to East Side. Jeff Horsley made the Olympic team, but he pulled his hamstring, so he couldn't participate in the Olympics. He was big, about 6'5", man. I mean, this cat was false. He was on a relay team. Went to school in North Carolina Central, man. But Jeff was fast like that and big, man. But when he tore his hamstring, man, I don't know what happened after that. If he didn't make the Olympic team, you know. But Greg Ladder played for the Chicago Bears, and first he played for the World Football League, then the Chicago Bears. But he died of some kind of I forgot what he died from, man. Some type of cancer he had. When Greg Ladder was big, fast, man. He was so big. We beat that year 12-10. He got the ball, and Pete Shaw went up to tackle him. He was coming around the left side, and I'm playing free safety. Pete was a corner. Man, Pete tried to hit this dude high. He just threw Pete off him like he was like a little kid. And I swear to God, Ladder's like 6'4", man, but 2-something, and could run, right? This guy looked at me. He seen me coming up, and I swear to God, he looked at me and smiled. Right? I could see that smile, right? And put his head down. He's gonna run me over. Only thing I said was, "Oh shit!" And I just went into him. I went as fast as I could, as hard as I could, and hit him below his knees. When he went down hard and laid there. I jumped up. I said, "Yeah!" Oh man, that made my game that day. Yeah. That was something, man.
Nah, good stuff. And now, being Behringer, as far as who's the best player ever come out of Behringer?
The best player to come out of Behringer?
I know we got Andre Tippett, we got yourself, we got some people here.
Look, Tippett, man, Tippett was all right, but he wasn't the best player. Now, if you want to look the best defensive player to come out of Behringer on the defensive line, because Tippett played defensive end. On the defensive line to come out was Lou Chapman. He was the best. All right. And man, listen, for yourself, you got a lot of guys, man, that should have been in the league or should have been in college, but things just happened, didn't make it. Was better than anybody that made it and stuff, But Lou Chapman was about the best. Another Robbie Wright. These guys, I'm just saying because I played with them, but Robbie Wright, Barry Gray played before me from Behringer. But, you had guys from Richard Campbell was good from Shabazz. There's a lot of guys, man.
Okay. Now, how about
it's
this
hard
one?
to say who was the best, so.
Yeah, no. I just thought I'd put you on the spot. Here's another one on the spot. This might be a tough one. Who you enjoy watching the most? Alonzo Cumberlander or Dexter Cumberlander, your grandson?
Well, I gotta say my son, man.
Okay.
Because I coached him, but I seen him do some things, and the thing about it, he wasn't a selfish player. He was just a great player, man. And Alan Watson was on especially on our Pop Warner team in high school, and Watson, he was mainly a runner. And Lonnie used to throw some blocks on him, man. This one game we played, the big game too against West Ward. He hit the defensive end, pancaked him. Linebacker came up, pancaked him. I don't know where this other guy came from. He threw 3 blocks. He knocked 3 guys down. And Watson hit that sideline because Watson could run. Hit the sideline, was gone. Nobody was watching Watson. We was watching the blocks Lonnie threw.
Yeah.
The spray Watson.
Yeah. And
man, me and my man Barry Gray, we looked at each other and said, damn, it was that was the best play I ever seen anybody do on one play. Do that damage like that. But watching my grandson, man, it was a pleasure watching him because he was tough and he played like his father, but his father was just a little, it was a little more like, because I guess I was around my son every day.
Around him, got you.
But it was a pleasure watching him, man. And I remember one game, I think it was Whippany Park. Lonnie had a bad ankle. And Whippany Park was like teeing off on him. This was when he was up there in Madison playing, you know, for Belly Elliott.
Right.
And they were like trying to tee off on him, you know, because he was limping, running the ball and stuff. So at halftime, I came out the stands. I walked him all the way to that locker room. I said, if I see you, I just had to tell him, man, because I was pissed off, man, because they were really trying to hurt him and they seen that he was hurting, you know, because they were like piling on and all this other stuff, man, you know, and nobody was saying nothing about it. But I told him, hey, man, I better not see another so-and-so hit you like that again. You know, you better come out running. If not, I'm pulling you out the game. And he just looked at me, didn't say nothing, man. You know, whatever I was saying, he was mad at me. Right? Yeah. Man, he came out that second half. I never seen anybody play a second half like that. Oh my God. Belly Elliott came back and beat the mess out of him, man. I don't know how many times he scored, but hitting people, running people over, hey man, it was like I stood in the stands and I was so proud of him. And
absolutely.
He was hurt. And his ankle was real bad, man. But Cat played hurt, man. And
absolutely. I was a recipient of some of them tackles. So I know all about it.
I came to when Belly played y'all. I think y'all played it in this field. It was at Immaculate, right?
Yeah, Cody Field right there in Montclair, right there.
There's a fence there. Yeah. That was a horrible field too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember seeing a lot of dirt spots on that field, man.
Yeah.
I said, man, they play here, you know. But up there with Belly Elliott was Essex, they had nice fields up there, man. Most of the teams, Whippany Park, Chatham, these are nice fields, man.
Right. You know. Right. Nah, it was a good move he made leaving Essex to go out there. Good move. That was a good move.
Yeah, Coach Fiducci, he helped with that move because Lottie was going to go to Seton Hall until Tony got sick and died, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Nah, but Mr. Cumberland, I wanted to say, I mean, I'm so, like I said, taken back and honored just for you to take time out to talk to me. And though, you know, you're generations or two ahead of me or before me, what have you, but you being officially you in some way, shape, or form helped me be officially me, just to hold this whole Essex County thing down here. Like, no matter where we from, we're Jersey bred. No, I mean, though you out in Cleveland Heights, I want to make sure I throw the Heights in there. But you Jersey, you're still a Jersey guy, you know, at the core, you know. And I think it's just, and for myself being out of state, I just want to honestly just say, like, just thank you for taking time out to talk to me.
Man.
I really appreciate it.
You know, it's my pleasure.
Yeah,
you know,
like
I just get to talk about some of the guys I played with, man. You know, because I think about them all the time. You know, and Robbie Wright and I, we stay in contact a lot. You know, but and we talk about a lot of different things, man. But a lot of our good friends are gone, man. You know, just to bring their names up, man. Cat like Shelton Reynolds and stuff, man. It was like a pleasure, man. The guy named Cupjack, man, right? Even Tommy Carino, man, you know, we had some good players on our team, some great guys, man. And like I said, a lot of those guys are gone, man, you know. So, but
and us young boys need to hear this. I mean, and I think sometimes we forget, you know, there was a whole world before us.
A lot of friendships you develop, man. Best to try to stay in touch with the people, man, you know, because a lot of times you think about them, man, it gets kind of lonely, man, you know, thinking about them knowing that they're gone, you know, and I miss those guys, man, you know, and it was a pleasure playing in Newark, man. It's the best thing ever happened to me. And I'm just glad that I had the parents that I had to keep me straight, because without them, I don't know where I would have been, man, because they kept me straight. Because a lot of my friends were doing things, and I knew I shouldn't have done them. I was ready to follow them. But my brother Dexter, he always wanted to follow me. And I told him, no, go home. And first thing come out of his mouth, I'm going to tell mommy. And I started thinking about that. I turned around and go home, you know. I said, yo, man, I'll see y'all later, man. You know. So it was a good thing, though, man. But I had a good life coming up, and the pleasure playing for Barons. And Coach Fiducci is one of the greatest coaches that ever come out that state. And
that name's notorious in New Jersey.
Man, listen, man. I mean, the funny thing is, we had plays. We didn't have many plays, right? But like I said, we ran the wishbone, and we had a lot of plays off the wishbone. And lot of the guys, man, didn't understand. A lot of the coaches, other teams didn't understand. We like showed them a different look in the backfield, right? Or different offset the line or whatever. And they couldn't pick things up, and we ran the same plays often, you know, and they couldn't pick stuff up, man. So, but hey, it was just a pleasure playing for Coach. I learned a lot from him, and just listening to him, and just talk to him today. And one thing about him, every day when I used to go in his office when I was in high school, right, just be me and him in there, he used to always say before I leave, he said that, did I ever tell you the story about Alice? No, the Wizard of Oz. Did I ever tell you the story about the Wizard of Oz? The Tin Man, the Straw Man, and the Lion, and what they were looking for? So I used to always say, no, Coach, right? Then he told me about the heart, you know, the courage and all other stuff, right? About the three. Yeah. And so then he said, do you know what they really were looking for? I used to say, no, Coach. He leave it like that. Never said to me or told me what the moral of his story was that he got out of it, right? Or every day, same thing. Story about the Wizard of Oz, right? Then all these years went by. Went to college, come to his office to see him, same thing. We was coaching at Westside High School. Him and I walking off the field after practice. And he brought that up again. And then he said, did I ever tell you why? I said, no, Coach. And then he told me why. And he said, that's just between me and you. But man, I tell you what, I never thought about it. And then I think about that every day. And he said, he gave me something to think about every day. And that's one thing I think about was the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, and what they really were looking for. So, and I just live with that. So I appreciate that jewel on the way out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Mr. Cumberlander. Thank you so much. Like I said, thank you. Yeah. Hey, if you ever get a chance to talk to him, he have a lot of stories. Coach will have a lot of stories to tell you, man, about basketball, because he coached basketball too. Now we can hook this up. Yeah, I'm all for it. Absolutely. I gotta ask him, because he's in a nursing home now. Yeah. And he can't walk too well now because he had hip problems with his hips. Okay. And he's too old to have the surgery, man. But I'll ask him. Like I said, I talk to him every week. Absolutely. And, that name's legendary. Hey, man, you get a guy, man, in your life, man, it's like a father to you just by talking to you. And, and you think about him every day. Not one day goes by. It's like me thinking about my mother and my father every day, or thinking about my kids every day. And do you think about an outsider like Coach? Hey, man, that guy is special. Yes. Special. Absolutely. Oh, you know what he did for me? Let me just tell you this real quick. I know you got to go. He, I was coaching at Westside, and we were coming off practice field, and he picked me up. He said, I want you to ride with me. So he picked me up and took me to practice with him. Man, do you know, after practice, we came walking back to the car. You know what he did? Threw me the keys and said, this is yours. I said, come on, Coach, are you serious? He said, yeah. It's a nice car, man. It's a Buick. Nice, all white, black top. Hey, man, I couldn't believe it, man. Just gave me the car. I said, Coach, thanks, man. My daughter needs a car, man. I got to give this car to her. He said, it's yours. Do what you want with it. Car. Yeah. And she got the car and ruined it. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. You know how that goes. I mean, that speaks volumes. Yep. Yeah. All right, man. It's my pleasure talking to you, man. Pleasure's all mine, man. Pleasure's all mine, Mr. Cumberlander. Thank you. You made my day, man. You more than made mine, so I really appreciate it, and definitely I appreciate it. And like I said, I appreciate one day when I get back in Jersey, man. Well, you in Connecticut now, right? Yes. Yeah. Yes. So when I usually go out to Massachusetts or Rhode Island where my son is at, check him out, man. We might all get together one day, man. Yeah, that's only next door. I could throw a rock and hit Rhode Island. So yeah, absolutely. That sounds good, man. We'll do that. Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Cumberlander. All right. You're welcome. You be well. Be well. Right. How do you get off this thing? Just tap the button and it'll say "in." It's a red little thing that'll come up and say. All right. Wait a minute.
Just tap the screen. Just tap the screen.
And then it says, okay, wait a
It
minute.
says leave. It might say leave. It says leave on there.
Wait a minute. No. Stop video.
There you go.
Is that it?
We getting there. I got you. There you go.
Okay.
Man, stuff made of legends. Mr. Cumberlander, just hearing them stories about Brick City back when, way before my time, man, just how they were just doing it. Yeah. I'm just sitting here just thinking about all the stuff that he said and just the time said, just not to take the past for granted, because that's what obviously made me, and my past to make somebody else's future or present. But that's what it is. Man, on this one, man, I put my hand on my heart. That means I feel you. To next go around.